Yeah.
And welcome to the We Don't Know Either podcast. I don't know how to use my mouth apparently because I just drank and got it all over me. Welcome to this week on 6/9/23.
I feel bad for your wife that you don't know how to use your mouth. No wonder she's so miserable.
Listen, anybody who's married to me is just miserable right off the bat. I don't understand why people would say yes.
I don't either.
But you know what? Someone said yes to you and even asked you, so we won't even go there. Anyway, how was your week, Kel?
Technically, that's not true. He didn't ask.
Did you get down on your knee and ask him?
No. So we were, he was stationed at Fort Bragg and was trying to get PCS to Fort Lewis and Washington.
Why don't you tell the layman? Not everybody's been in the military there.
Permanent change of station. Okay. So he would be stationed in Washington. So he said that he talked to whoever, I can't remember who it was. And he's like, so I figured we should get married before I go or before we move. So I don't have to pay for rent while I live in the barracks. I'm like, okay.
And so it's a financial decision. So it's a financial decision?
Yeah. And
that's
then,
usually
and then we
after
got
the
married.
After the first marriage, that's usually what it is. Because that was
we got married in a jail too.
Well, I mean,
that's where
it's where you belong.
That's not where I belong. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's exactly where you belong. What are you talking about?
That's where the magistrate's office was.
In the prison.
In the prison.
This is just people getting married in prison all the time, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a girl, I think, in front of us that was she was getting a restraining order.
And a wedding at the same time?
No.
Wow. Talk about an all-in-one shop.
But it's like you walk in into you would go to the left just to visit someone, and then there was a door on the right, and that's where you got married, got restraining orders, small claims court kind of stuff. Yeah.
I guess if it works, it works. What can I say? Oh man, I am so late today.
I know.
My apologies. I thought I thought I was going to make it on time. I was like, when I said 7:30, I was like, yeah, I'm going to be there at 7:30. So I had everything timed out perfectly because I wander. I go into the store and I start wandering around. And then I was calling about the cable because I'm hoping this works because I had to change the cable. I got a Cat 6 cable and a thick one. So she said. So...
No, that's what he said.
That too. So I got a thick one now, so hopefully it works. Talked to my wife's friend, Nicole, and who watches all our stuff.
Oh, nice.
Necromantic on here. But yeah, she's amazing. She's awesome. She works in IT, so so she's like, so she's good with that stuff. So hopefully this works. And I don't pause. So I don't it. And I look dumb. I mean, dumber than usual because I kind of look dumb as it is. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so today is indictment number 2 day.
Well, technically yesterday was, but yeah.
Whatever. You know what I meant. I always got to be, I'm going to call you Karen from now on. It's not like Kelly, it's Karen. I'm going to put descriptions. Trouble and Karen migrate through the world of the unknown.
I'm sorry, but you can't handle a woman being right.
I've never been right in my life. I went straight from being wrong with a Puerto Rican mother, a Puerto Rican grandmother, a Puerto Rican sister, to a Puerto Rican girlfriend that had my Puerto Rican daughter. Okay? And I thought marrying white women, I would be right. I was wrong then.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've never been right. In 40 years of my life, I think I've been right a total of 3 times. And that's it. And I said 3 times, and I put up 2 fingers just to tell you how dumb I really am. But yeah.
At least you're snazzy wearing a blazer.
Listen, I learned this from the great Gino Bisconti. He's like, listen, you can put whatever you want under it. As long as you got a blazer on, you kind of look professional. So that's what I do. I put on a blazer. I pull up my sleeves like a congressman, and I tap on a stall, and I put my foot under it, and I put my penis through a hole. What? I mean,
and all the glory.
Yeah. Just, hey, you about a 9? Jesus Christmas.
Do they still make glory holes? I feel like we need to bring that back.
I mean, I don't think it ever went out of fashion. All you have to do is make a hole in a stall. I mean, I don't think it takes fucking gold and radium to make a glory hole. It's just a miter saw or a drill. I don't think it takes rocket science and E equals MC squared to go, hey, you want to put a penis through a hole? Like, let's just do this.
Okay, but I meant more like a campaign to get people to do it, not mining for gold and uranium, apparently.
Yes. I mean, you've never seen flyers for the campaign for more glory holes? Because I'm in the Midwest now, and I've seen a lot of weird things, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody campaign on the glory hole trail.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day. We were talking about people's rights being taken away. And it's like, people's rights are always getting taken away. But you never hear somebody like, you always hear like, we will take the strip clubs out of the city because stripping is bad for everyone. And then like, but you'll never hear anybody go, hey guys, I'm bringing the strip clubs back. Let's do this. Because who's going to be the guy who brings the strip clubs back? I think your dog made my cricket sound for me.
She's chewing on an axolotl. I don't know, whatever the fuck. Some toy. She's upside down.
Is that an antidepressant?
No, it's like I don't know, like an aquatic lizard or something.
You're letting your dog eat
it's a fucking
lizard
toy.
You're the one who said a quenciocha and was like, yeah, my dog's eating a quetzalcoatl. And I'm like, what is that? And you're like, a lizard. I thought your dog was gnawing a lizard while he's sitting there.
It's a she for the 800th time.
Whatever. What is that? A fucking what is that? A Pokemon?
An axolotl.
What the hell is an axolotl?
An aquatic lizard type of thing. We just went over this.
Is it a Pokemon though?
No, it's like a real live thing. Jesus Christ.
Loves you. But anyway, but like, I don't know. I'm confused. Anyway.
Oh my God, you are a nightmare.
Why do you have Roblox behind you?
To piss you off.
I just don't understand that game. I really don't.
Which one?
What is every Roblox? I just said Roblox.
Yes.
Final Fantasy 37. I don't get
Roblox is a bunch of games within a game. That's why I said which one. Which game on Roblox?
Wait, so there's subcategories of Roblox?
Not subcategories, but other games. It's like a whole bunch of games inside of a game.
Like Wreck-It Ralph?
Kind of. I don't know. I never played that. All right. Do you see that? That's an axolotl.
Hold on. Oh. It looks like a weird semen thing.
A little bit.
It looks like a whatever. What's that? Those little frogs? What are they called? Tadpoles. They're like semen tadpoles.
Which tadpoles are like kind of semen. A little bit.
They're not. They're like babies, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're not semen. They're babies.
That's why I said kinda.
That's like saying if a man tugs one out and nuts on his hand, it's like that. Well, that's kind of a baby. It's not the same thing.
You've never used the term that like semen are like your babies?
No. No.
So
do I have to have a conversation with Mitch like he's calling semen babies?
No, I do.
You
okay? So when I was in the hospital,
are you just like, hey, Mitch, let me get some of that baby? That just sounds fucking weird.
When I was, I don't say that. No, when I was in the hospital, when I had
this is getting even better.
His dad came to visit, and so did my best friend, and they went back and stayed at our house to take care of my dog that passed away. And they
took care of a dead dog.
No, he passed away last year.
Oh,
I just wanted to specify so you didn't think it was Nymeria. It was Opie. Well, anyways, they walked in the hospital room the next day, and I'm like, "You two fucked, didn't you?" And they did on my bed. So
wait, your ex-husband?
No, my friend and my father-in-law. So it was like Mitch's brothers and sisters were all over my bed.
Are you sure you're not from the Midwest?
I am now.
I mean, oh, you said your father-in-law and your husband's from the Midwest, isn't he?
No, Mitch is from Seattle.
Okay, well.
Would you stop with the damn squeaker?
You gave it to her. What do you want her to do with it?
She's tucking it like underneath my...
Like a target?
No, I have like a sawhorse desk, like with the sawhorse legs. So they're like triangles, and she keeps tucking it underneath it.
Sawhorse desk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speechless. I have no idea what that is. I'm not rich.
Oh my God.
Is there a way you could put it on the back behind you instead of the Roblox game within a game?
Nope.
You're gonna make me like bend over and have to. Oh shit! That's not what I wanted to do. Oh.
This is the exact desk that I have. Hold on.
$329.
Well, it's
for 6 pieces.
Color. No, it was a lot more than 6.
I mean, it doesn't even have lights on it.
Why would I need lights?
For $200? I've seen desks that like lift themselves up for $200. Furniture's expensive.
Good strong wood. It's
what she
fancy. Said. Oh my God. I didn't even like mean to get into this conversation on Twitter with like my little anime friends, but this one girl, like, well, my daughter started it and was like, did you know that penises don't have bones in them? And my daughter asked me that. I'm like, kind of knew that long before you were even a thought. But this girl's like, so what? Guys just walk around with like a squishy penis in their pants? I'm like, pretty much, yeah. She's like, I can't. I know. My daughter's like, penises are the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, which is why you're a lesbian.
And mud flaps aren't?
What do you mean? Mud flaps?
I mean, listen, it's just everything is just one's out, one's an outie, one's an innie, one's an outie, one's an innie. Sometimes, you know, it just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm lying. I mean, some of them are beautiful. Some of them. Oof.
The penises?
No, not. Always cut though, never uncut. If it's uncut, it looks like a snake wearing a sweater.
Oh, you're talking about circumcision. You're flopping back and forth between penises and vaginas. I can't tell which one.
You're the one who said I like penis.
You do.
I do not.
Yeah.
$20 is $20 sometimes, you know?
My friend has that shirt.
You would have a friend with that shirt. I have that shirt.
So 2 friends.
All right, so let's get into the topic of what we're going to discuss today. Mr. Donald J. Trump with his second indictment. So you're saying that they got him dead to rights on this, huh?
Well, I'm just saying that I don't think he's going to walk on this. I don't see how he possibly could.
I mean, from what I read, and I didn't get to finish reading it because I was busy doing chores. What the?
You get an allowance.
Huh?
Do you get an allowance?
Of course I do. I have to. I'm a giant child. I go to the whatchamacallit, Goodwill and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And that's where I go buy my stuff. But I have like 13 keyboards because I keep finding good ones. So I keep upping the ante with keyboards and backpacks. I'm obsessed with backpacks. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm obsessed with them. And I think I just want to fit my life into a backpack, but I need the perfect backpack to fit my life in. And yeah, I got to take things everywhere because I'm the guy who has it. You know, when somebody's like, "Oh, you got a screwdriver?" I got one.
So basically, you just want a man purse.
I don't got big enough tits to put my shit in, so I'm gonna have to have something else. And I don't like things in my man purse, so. All right. Let me present the screen. Oh. Let's share. I hate how small this is.
Yeah.
That's what she said. All right. So the indictment. The grand jury charges that at the time materials to this indictment on or about the dates and approximate times stated below. Defendant Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of the United States of America. He held office from from January 20th, 2017 until January 20th, 2021, as President Trump had lawful access to the most sensitive classified documents and national defense information gathered. And that, by the way, the Roblox is messing me up because I keep seeing something move on behind you. And I'm like, why is there another person coming on? Documents and national defense information gathered and owned by the United States government, including information for the agencies that compromise the United States intelligence community, dickheads, and the U.S. State Departments of Defense. Over the course of the president, Trump, I like how they put it in big letters, gathered, that's just like, over the course of his presidency, Trump gathered newspapers, press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official documents, and other materials in cardboard boxes that he kept in the White House. Among the materials Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of documents, classified documents. The classified documents Trump stored in his boxes included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of the United States and foreign countries, blah, blah, blah. United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities, the United States allies, blah, 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 blah.
That's important shit that you're blah, blah, blahing away.
Potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack and plans for possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. The unauthorized disclosure of these documents could put at risk national security of the United States, foreign relations, the security of the United States military and human sources, and continued viability of yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. What up? Can I have it? Yeah.
I grabbed your napkin too.
Thanks, kiddo.
Love you.
Love you.
Aw, somebody loves you.
Shut the fuck up. All right. So basically, he had a bunch of secret shit that, you know, that he wasn't supposed to have, apparently. But he was the president of the United States and the head of the military. So.
Not when he took this stuff to Mar-a-Lago. He wasn't president anymore.
But he still could have declassified it while he was president.
Yeah, but he later in here admits that he didn't declassify it.
Once again, it's context.
I know.
We're gonna have to find out
to a recording. Okay, what other context did he mean?
If we hear him say it, but I want to look at what they did with the good people on both sides. Look what they did with that.
Okay, but that's a lot different than I could have declassified this while I was president, and now I can't.
If he
what
was
other
talking,
context are you going to take?
If he was talking about declassifying it and allowing the American people to see it, that's what. Just like he was going to, just like the Kennedy files, he was going to declassify it and let the American people see it. And so if it's in that context,
what part of that conversation sounds like release it to the American public?
We're talking about a man who's an idiot, right?
No, he's not an idiot.
He's partially an idiot. He's got a little bit of the tism in there.
He's a narcissist. But that's the thing.
You need a little bit of narcissism to become the president of the United States.
I'm not saying you don't, but he is not a stupid man. And look at what he's talking about. He's talking about how he had a senior military official work up a plan to attack a country. And
where is that?
Scroll down a little bit. A little more. Keep going. Keep going.
I love how they're black and white, so you can't see any of the markings on it. So
I have the real ones.
Just looks, yeah, I've seen the real ones, but that just looks like a cabinet.
Well, that's because this is a photocopy, probably.
I like them though. I want to put them on my wall.
I know. Okay, right here.
Okay.
Okay, if you scroll down a little bit, it's.
Can we read the whole thing first?
Fine.
On July 21st, 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump gave an interview in his office at the Bedminster Club to a writer and publisher in connection with the then forthcoming book. Of course.
Now, you have to address, though, the Bedminster Club is in New Jersey. So if he was storing these documents at Mar-a-Lago, he brought it to New Jersey with him.
You don't think. And here's the thing. The man is guarded by Secret Service.
Who cares? That doesn't give him a right to break the law.
Can you let me finish? Or are you just going to jump in my nose?
You're going to give the same argument that I've been reading all over Twitter for a day now.
The man was the president of the United States. Mm-hmm. He has the top security clearance and the people around him with top security clearance while he was president. So you're telling me that all these people allowed him to take, that's not a newspaper where he just put it under his jacket. That's a lot of files. So you're telling me he took those in the middle of the night, he waddled his way into the room, took all that stuff and put it in a plane and was just like, ha, 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 I'm taking this all. And nobody saw this. Nobody saw this. No camera caught this. Nobody in the CIA went, Mr. President.
We don't know that if that could be evidence that's presented. So we can't say no one saw it.
And nobody stopped him.
So because nobody stopped him, that means he didn't do it.
No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying nobody stopped him. They allowed to take all of this. I mean, you can't see but it's a lot.
Yeah, and it's
this whole thing. These are all books. That's what is it? 18,000 documents.
They're boxes.
Boxes. I didn't make books. Boxes.
So you're trying to tell me that he couldn't have snuck in a few things that he wasn't supposed to have in those boxes?
Yeah, could have. But you're telling me nobody. But nobody. But they said he's got 18,000. How can you sneak 18,000 documents out? And then they're trying to say it's all those boxes, and nobody said a word. Trump can't sneak out of his own fucking bed. Okay?
Okay. I mean, if you put him up on a pedestal like you do.
I don't put him on a pedestal. I'm just trying to look at both sides. I'm just trying to look at it from both ways.
If you scroll down, he admits that they were not, that he did not or declassify them.
Okay. All right.
And he's sitting here bragging to a writer and a publisher about a planned attack on a country that he had a senior military official come up with for him. Just sitting there bragging about it.
How many books have been written saying that Trump said and did things, and it turns out to be it wasn't true?
Okay, but this is a recording that they're talking about.
Once again, there's a recording of Trump saying, how many times did Trump tell everybody that he disavows the KKK and David Duke? And how many times did they ask him?
Comparable.
It is.
It is not in any way, shape, or form. Do you really think that a prosecutor is going to be the first prosecutor to ever bring federal charges against a former president on a maybe?
A fat fuck did it in New York.
He wasn't a federal prosecutor. Those were not federal charges.
It doesn't matter.
Different thing.
So, okay. So if this is a whole different thing, then how come Joe Biden was allowed to do the same thing?
Who said Joe Biden was allowed to do the same thing?
You're not hearing anything. He's not being indicted for anything.
He can't be indicted. He's immune until he's out of office for 6 months.
They've been okay. So Trump was impeached twice.
Was not removed from power.
Doesn't matter if the Democrats had the Senate, he would have been removed from power.
Okay, and then this indictment could have happened back then. What's your point?
I'm just saying. If it was, it's not being handled the same way for both sides, and that's what I hate. That's what bothers me the most.
But the thing it bothers me, and this is the point that Mitch made that I 100% agree with. If you're going to make that claim, then
it's DiGiorno, not delivery.
You can't get mad when it happens to your side. If you want it to happen to both sides, you have to accept when it happens to your side.
I get that.
In this indictment, he bragged about it not being that he said, and it's, if you scroll down, says, I could have declassified this when I was president, but now I can't. So he's admitting that it was not declassified. And look at the documents that he took. He just has them sitting around in Mar-a-Lago in a bathroom, on a stage, in a ballroom where people were.
I read they were talking about putting it in a shower.
But I mean, it's like, come on, anybody could walk in. And it's not just anyone could walk in and grab them. But think of now, people know a weakness that America has. So now they can support a certain president, bribe them, do whatever they want, and have access to a lot of our information. This is bad for the country.
You know, Joe Biden took $5 million as a VP, right? As bribery.
Okay.
And that was before
has
Trump.
To do with Trump being indicted. How?
Because you're saying that this could happen. This could happen, but it did happen. What is it, 10 years ago, 11 years ago? It did happen, and everybody looked away from it. Nobody said a word. And he was vice president, and then he wasn't vice president for a long time. Joe Biden had all these documents in his house and then everywhere else. He literally had it in his garage. You're talking about Trump.
Documents. What was the context of the documents?
We don't know because nothing's happening.
Because he's president and nothing can happen right now.
But okay, once again, and Biden even said he's had documents since 1974. Nobody has done anything until it was Trump.
Now we have precedent.
Now we have precedent, but it's going to go. Listen, this is what it's going to go away. It's going to go away. It's going to be swept on. This isn't going away. No, this isn't going away. But nobody's going to talk. After this is done, Biden will not be heard from again.
Well, okay? I mean, let's be honest. What's the chances of him surviving to the end of his presidency? And if
he's barely making it now, he can't.
That's what I'm saying. And if he does, what are the chances of him being made being made competent to stand trial? They're probably not going to go after him because he's not going to even be able to have a trial.
He can't even be competent to stand at the moment.
Exactly.
So,
but the rubber on his shoes.
I bet they do. Goodyears, I bet too. But I'm just saying the point is that it's not equal, you know, and it's stupid. Okay, you talk about presidential.
How would you feel if Hillary and Biden were indicted, but Trump wasn't for this?
I wouldn't. I would be just as mad.
I really don't.
If he locked her up, for the 30,000 emails and she got indicted and whatnot, and he was doing this shit because he came out, and I'm pissed off that he's like
been doing this shit.
Can you let?
Go ahead, my love.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that, yes, I'm pissed off that everybody made a big stinking shit about Hillary. And now all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, but her emails. And Joe Biden, well, you know, it wasn't as many. It's just people and the news and everything like that are making excuses for it. And that's the problem, is that it's excused when certain people do it. But when other people do it, there's a huge problem, and it's made worse, and it sets a precedent. Yeah, but once again, those scumbags aren't going to do anything. They haven't. They talked about impeaching Joe Biden as soon as he walked in the door. They did, and it went nowhere. It's not going to go anywhere because they're all in it together. They're all swamp people. And the thing that I loved about Trump is he brought this out. He made everybody realize. The whole fucking time. The whole time.
So he exposed the swamp.
Basically. Listen, there's so many more people.
When did he expose the swamp?
Every time he talked, for the most part.
Every time
we didn't realize.
Someone a bad name, that's exposing.
Did we realize how shitty CNN? Did people realize how shitty CNN had gotten before Trump?
Did.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Nobody paid attention to this stuff. Well, exactly. UNITY problem.
But
it's a unity.
CNN is a piece of shit. Is not exposing the swamp.
But
it's talking about.
It shows that
drain the swamp in Washington, get rid of all the career politicians,
and he didn't
lock up Hillary Clinton. He didn't do none of that. He was too busy taking files away.
Yes, that's what his main goal was, to take files away. That's what he wanted to do.
What else did he do? Please tell me one thing that he did for this country that
the First Step Act?
He personally did not benefit from.
The First Step Act?
Which one was that? With the
criminals, allowing all these criminals to go and decriminalizing certain crimes. What else? He was trying to get insulin to be $35, which now Joe Biden
didn't do it.
Yeah, and now Joe Biden got it done. He was trying to do a lot of stuff, but once again, we got to remember he was not liked by anybody. Nobody liked him, and even the people who liked him, look at him now. They're all turning on him. They never really liked him.
He spent 4 years trying to get things done that he never got done, and now
he started the wall. He tried to get the wall.
Fell apart.
They didn't give him any money. They didn't allow him. It had to take private funding.
It's always going to be an excuse. Everything. There's always an excuse on why he didn't keep.
No, it's not an excuse. It's a reason. It's a reason. It's not an excuse.
Okay, so if he spent 4 years being stonewalled into doing anything that he promised, why is he running on that same shit that he damn well knows he's not going to be able to do it in a second term?
So then nobody's going to vote for him.
Oh, come on. You think no one's going to vote for him?
No, I think a lot of people are going to vote for him because a lot of people think the last election was stolen, which it wasn't. He was cheated out of it, but it wasn't stolen. The Democrats do what the Democrats do, and the
Republicans are not any different.
I know. They're all garbage. They're all garbage, and that's what I mean. I used to think that one party was better than the other. Okay, I'm not going to lie. When I was growing up, I thought the Democrats were great. And then when I got older, I thought the not even conservative, the Republicans were great. Yeah. But now, especially now that after what he's done, I see that they're both garbage. And he opened my eyes to realize that,
and he's garbage with them.
He kind of was, but he kind of was trying to, I believe. And this, once again, this is my belief because this is my truth. My truth says that Donald Trump, he made me open my eyes and realize that they're all scumbags. They don't care about us. Nothing they do benefits any of us. I don't care what you think because they're always going to do.
Donald Trump to come to that conclusion. I came to that conclusion long before Donald Trump. I thought he was going to be different, and he wasn't. He was exactly like all of them. He became the swamp. He didn't drain it. He became it.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
I mean, he hired swamp people, yeah. But I believe, once again, nobody wanted him. Nobody liked him. Listen, here's the thing. The enemy of my friend, the enemy, what is it called?
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, basically. So they found him. They thought, listen, everybody loved Donald Trump. Here's the thing. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved him for years. Okay? He got wrote up in papers. No, not everybody loved him.
No, not everyone. A lot of people thought he was a piece of shit that he is.
Yeah. But a lot of people did love him. He was rapped about. They gave him NAACP awards. You strive to be Donald Trump. Okay, because you wanted.
I don't have any interest in owning hotels.
You have more interest in owning hoes than hotels.
Oh my God. Boundaries.
That's what I mean. You got hoes in every area code.
Oh my God.
But I mean, come on. There was people gloating about how he should be president for years, since the 80s.
And that made him a good president?
No. I'm not saying it made him a good president. What made him a good president is that he threw a cog in it and watched everybody freak the fuck out.
He did throw a cog in shit. He did do shit.
He threw a monkey wrench into it. Look how much they hate him.
Okay.
They hate him because he wasn't a part of them. If he was a part of them, if he was a part of them, why is all this going on then?
Because he violated the law. And when you break the law and get caught like he did, you go to jail.
Hillary Clinton has been killing people for years.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Her name has been mentioned a lot of times, just like Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. Okay?
I smoked a blunt with Snoop Dogg.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't surprise me.
The Up and Smoke Tour. Him, Dr. Dre, and Eminem.
But, I mean, I think the reason why they're doing all this is because they don't like him and they don't want him. And they know he knows what they know.
Or he did fucked up shit and broke the law, and now he's going to suffer the consequences.
Because no other politician has done fucked up shit. Once again, he's done what other politicians have done. Hillary Clinton got rid of emails. All of a sudden, there was a flood in Trump's thing, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know where those things are," just like Hillary. But everybody's up in arms about that. He had files stored where they shouldn't have. Just like Biden had files, and just because Biden all of a sudden, you don't find it suspicious that after Trump, they found these files on Trump. They just happened to find Joe Biden's files, and nobody knew about it until after the midterm elections 6 months later.
I go back and forth because it's like, yeah, it could be suspicious, or digging into this could have triggered them to dig into other people. Both scenarios are both just as possible.
You're telling me that Mike Pence and Joe Biden's lawyer were just like, hey, oh, by the way, I know you guys found stuff in Trump's house, but I just want to show you. We accidentally took some stuff too. Like, I'm sorry. My bad. No, bullshit. Bullshit. They knew what they were doing with Trump, and Pence and Biden and whoever else they have knew what was going on. So they went and ran and went, hey, I accidentally took this, by the way. It's bullshit. It is bullshit. What they're doing is they're going after him so that way he can never be president again, because he didn't want to align with them.
I don't see how you connect those dots.
I don't know how you don't. Okay.
Eyeballs that see.
So you're friends with somebody, right? And you guys are all in this. Okay, well, let's play.
My husband as a.
Let's play pretend. You have a good imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pretend you have friends. Let's pretend you have dogs. How about that?
I have a dog. And 8 turtles and 3 cats.
You said it like a 6-year-old. I have a dog. Let's pretend, okay? You have friends.
Okay.
And you're all friends, and everybody's all in everything together, and you're all doing things together. And all of a sudden, are you just going to turn on your one friend for no reason?
Yeah. If they do something really fucked up, yeah, I would.
What if you're doing the same fucked up thing?
I wouldn't be, because I'm.
So, okay. So here's the thing. You and your friend are cheating on your husbands, right?
Okay.
You and your friends are cheating on your husbands, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden you turn around and go, she's cheating on her. Just to let you know, she's cheating on you.
I've done it.
But you're cheating too.
So that doesn't negate the fact that she's doing it.
Okay. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. But you come out and you go and you tell your husband, listen, just to let you know, I'm going to let you know I accidentally cheated on you once. It was a mistake.
Not to him.
I'm sorry.
Well, it wasn't a husband. It was a boyfriend.
Okay.
But.
So you're just as wrong as she was, because you're both doing the same
point that I'm making. But you're trying to act like this is all just a witch hunt and not true.
I'm not saying it's a witch hunt. I'm not saying it's a witch hunt at all.
But
I'm saying once again,
okay with him being indicted on criminal charges because nobody else got indicted. So
for taking paperwork, he didn't.
That's not just paperwork. But it's like saying with that logic, because my parents had never been arrested, then we should never arrest sex traffickers. If you use that logic. Because other people aren't getting arrested for taking documents, he shouldn't be arrested.
But if your parents were part of a circle of people doing it, I know.
They were.
And so your parents should have been arrested too.
Yeah, they should have. But
okay.
Just because they weren't doesn't mean that nobody else shouldn't. And just because Hillary and Pence and all of them haven't been arrested doesn't mean that Trump shouldn't be arrested.
But you don't think that the reason why your parents weren't is because they were probably diming someone else out?
I have no idea.
Okay, but that's what's going. That's what I figure. That's what I feel is going on. They're a part of a big giant. They're a part of a big giant club, and I think that he stepped out of bounds in that club, and they want him gone permanently.
Or he's in on it with them and wants people to believe that, but he's really in on all of it.
Yes, and secretly he's going to end up Jeffrey Epsteining himself and fly off
Jeffrey Epstein did kill himself. We don't. That's the official report. So let's not throw conspiracy theories to that. I firmly believe he did kill himself. And I was a lot closer to that case than you were. So, but what, you think Trump's gonna off himself in jail?
No, he's too narcissistic to do that. These walls. Listen, I have the best rope out there.
Narcissists kill themselves. Yeah, they do. There was a woman in a support group that I went to, and her ex-husband, late husband, walked in to her house on Mother's Day and killed himself right in front of her in their living room. It was the ultimate abuse.
People are fucked up, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucked up.
It is. He ruined Mother's Day. He ruined their house, and he scarred her for life. It was the ultimate abuse.
Do you get phantom brains? Like sometimes you think there's still brains on you?
I don't know, because the only time I've witnessed something like that, they were on the wall, not on me.
You seen that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our friend called us over to his house and just walked downstairs, and when he got to the bottom of the stairs, swallowed a gun. Yeah, it was pretty fucked up.
Well, then wouldn't it come out of his stomach if he swallowed it?
Oh my God. Can we not joke about this?
Why? You said he swallowed a gun.
Okay, it's a figure of speech.
It swallowed a bullet. That's a different story. A gun.
Whatever.
He ate a bullet.
It's
not a figure. Who?
I'm trying to say it so it's not too fucking graphic. Okay, the guy put a gun in his mouth, pulled the trigger, and his head collapsed in half, and his brains were all over the wall. Is that better for you? My God. What are you, a fucking ostrich?
Oh,
Can't with you, dude.
My head hurts. Oh, my head hurts. That was great.
Yeah, that was great. That I watched that happen when I was 17 years old.
You were 17? How old was your how old was your friend?
19, 18, 19.
And why did anybody know of a reason why, or just?
No, we never figured out why.
But did his mom not let him transition, and so he didn't?
Oh, come on! Please don't turn this into that.
Well, I mean, he turned it into something else, a Picasso, but still. But so he had nobody knew.
No, nobody knew. But I mean, at the time we were all on drugs, so maybe there was signs that we didn't see. But
I think you would pass up some signs. I tried to down. I was talking about this the other day with somebody. You ever do mushrooms?
Mm-hmm.
So I've done them.
I hate mushrooms. I like LSD so much better.
Do you really?
Mushrooms, it was I just couldn't get up. Like, I just felt glued to my seat. Like, I just wanted to sit there. I felt so lazy.
So it was like normal every other day.
Yeah, except I was seeing shit. But LSD it gives you more of a body high too. So you just want to bounce off the walls too.
Really? I think
better.
You know what? So I did do LSD one time. I forgot about that. I did LSD one time and I couldn't sleep and I was watching Seinfeld. And at the time I hated Seinfeld. But every time I closed my eyes to try to sleep, I saw this razor guy coming at me. So I had to open my eyes. So I couldn't sleep. So I was laughing my ass off. And I'm pretty sure it was the same episode of Seinfeld. You know, back in the day, remember they had the self-winding VCRs?
Yeah.
And you go back. Yeah. So I think I watched the same episode like 30 times. And it was
Did you ever see Beetlejuice?
Of course I have.
All right. So you know the scene where he pulls this out and sticks his hand in?
Yeah.
So I took way too much acid. I mean, I have never been that high in my life. Well, maybe when I did adrenochrome.
Wait, so which ones are on the tab? Acid or LSD?
Acid is LSD. And
okay,
it's liquid. Sometimes they'll put the liquid on a sugar cube. Sometimes they'll put it on paper. Anyway, so I took a lot and it was dropped directly on the tongue. So you can drop it in your eye too, but I don't recommend it because it hurts. It feels like you're getting kicked in the face, but the visuals are great. Well, anyways, we get to my friend's house and I'm sitting here looking at this guy and that just happens on his head just keeps turning into a bird. And I'm dying laughing.
What kind of bird?
It looked like the Beetlejuice bird thing that he did.
Oh, so like a flamingo or something like that?
Or a toucan or something. I'm just dying. And he's like, what is so funny? I'm like, you look like a fucking bird. He's like, I'm sitting right here. I'm like, but you look like a fucking bird. And they're all just like, she's high, just ignore her. And then later on, we got pulled over and we were sitting there for 15 minutes and the cop didn't come up. So I'm like, I'm just going to step out and see if he's all right. Cause we were on a major highway. Yeah. There was no cop. No, we all saw the blue and red lights twirling around. Nope, there wasn't a cop back there.
You ever think of the shit we used to do as kids and go, thank God our kids aren't that bad?
Mm-hmm.
We can't pull over any farther, sir. There's nobody there.
No, we were just sitting on the shoulder. I'm like, why didn't he put the spotlight on? Did he get hit by a car? What is going on? Yeah, it was 20 minutes that we were sitting on the side of the highway.
You're lucky a cop didn't just come check on you guys and make sure you're okay.
Well, that happened another time when we were on our way home from a club. We got a flat tire and my ex-husband locked his keys in his trunk and we were pulling back on the back seat. So because I was tiny back then, so I could sneak into the trunk and get the keys. And there was a girl behind me and then I was leaning on her and he was pushing on it from outside the car. Someone called 911 and said there was a woman in labor. So we had ambulances pull up, the cops pull up, firefighters. I'm like, no, I'm not in labor. We're trying to get the keys out of the trunk. They're like, you could have just called us. And they went over and did some doopy thing or whatever and opened up the trunk. And they're like, have y'all been drinking? We're like, nope, thank you, sir. Bye. No. Hey, get out of the litter box. Nymeria. You are not a cat. Sorry. She was trying to use the litter box.
I heard. Everybody heard. I think China heard. Yeah, I used to do mushrooms with my buddy, and one time I took mushrooms and he had his room. So I lived with my buddy Steve for a long time because I got kicked out of my house. And
did anyone do the Star Wars thing when you were tripping?
What?
Oh, you take a lit cigarette and blow on it and it looks like the stars.
No. No, but I did. I did do ecstasy, and when I was in college, and my fraternity brother kept blowing that Vicks vapor rub on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that was great. That was so much fun. Ecstasy was great. I took it.
I OD'd on it, so I kind of have
did
a
you?
relationship. Well, it was something it was cut with that I OD'd on, but yeah, I was really fucked up. My heart stopped. I stopped breathing.
Well, so
out of body experience.
What happened? You can't give us the clip notes episode of it. You said you stopped breathing, it was cut with something, and then you just yes.
So it's hard to talk about. I get anxious about it, but I took it and I took a big hit off a bong, and no, I took 2. And so it was cut with dextromethorphan, which is in cough syrup, which I was also taking at the time. So that's technically what I overdosed on. And it was like so weird because like everything sounded far away, but was also echoing. And like I would look at the ground and the ground would just like zoom up at my face like I was falling. And then, sorry, I get so anxious.
I can see that.
One of our friends came over and he had something happen to him a couple weeks before. So I like grabbed onto him and I'm like, what is happening to me? And he was like, I guess I started bleeding and stuff out of my nose or foaming or something. I don't know. But he's like, listen, the ambulance is on the way. You're going to die, but we're going to do everything to keep you alive. And he laid me down, and that's when I left my body and was like staring at them, giving me CPR. And then I just walked over and laid down and woke up in my body. Babe, can you get her out of here, please? What, he sad that I woke up?
No, the transition is what makes me like that's why I love doing this with you, because the transition is so much fun to watch, because you go from a dark place to mom in a second. And it's like I can see it in your eyes that you're back there, you're looking at your body, CPR, you're about to go into the ambulance, and then all of a sudden it's, get out of their box! So I'm back. How are you guys?
Apparently not.
She fucking pulled me.
You dropped this.
Thank you.
What do you mean she?
I had her by the scruff and she ran. She's a strong little cunt. She looked at my computer. Okay.
All of a sudden, I just saw you doing the fucking teacups, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And I thought you were face planting right into that wall. I was like, "She's just having a fucking flashback."
No, it's pretty far away, but no, I was grabbing.
You were gone. You were gone. All of a sudden,
I grabbed her by the scruff so Mitch could take her out of here.
She said, "Fuck you, I'm out." Almost took
me with her. But yeah, so I died. I was born dead. That was the second time I died, and I died one more time after that.
You were born dead.
Mm-hmm. Or the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck.
That explains a lot.
Mm-hmm. No, it does.
So what? So you were like, your head was this way and your feet were coming out and it was wrapped around that way, or like you were coming out?
It strangled me, and I was blue. My whole face was blue. So
your mother's been trying to kill you since birth.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jesus Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they had to do life-saving treatment to bring me back. I think it was less than a minute or something like that. And then one of the clients drowned me. I mean, I don't know if I was technically dead, but I definitely was unconscious. And then that happened, and that my heart did stop, and I stopped breathing. Like I could feel the air leaving my lungs and not coming back in. Like it's the weirdest thing. Like I don't even know how to describe it.
I hear it's euphoric. Like they said when you drown,
it's so euphoric to die.
I don't know. I haven't been able to ask any follow-up questions for these people after they died.
Okay, well,
that's what I heard. I just heard it's euphoric. It's the most painless way to die is when you drown.
Yeah, I'm sure it is pain. Well, I mean, when I drowned, I kind of, like I said, I don't know if I actually was like clinically dead, but they had to do CPR or whatever they do to get the water out of your lungs.
And did you do like they do in the movies where they spit up the water?
I honestly, I really don't remember because that was one of her sick, evil things she liked to do was drown me. But that time she took it too far. I think that was the only time that, at least that I remember, that she took it that far.
The client?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm depressed.
Me too.
Do you have any Klonopin?
I am.
All right, I'll take one. Or
come
7.
on up. And I'll give you 7 if you come up. No, I won't. I'll give you a bottle of tequila. Juanitos.
I'm in recovery, thank you very much.
So bye.
I was bad, man. Drinking was my thing. Drinking and the cane. I love the cane. Oh my God. Did I love that stuff?
What do you mean?
I was talking about
cane?
The Colombian marching powder.
Oh. I was the arm thing.
No, I never liked needles.
I
was never like,
but
I
when
literally
you feel that high afterwards, you kind of forget that a needle did it.
So like I was a bitch. I say I was, but we all know I still am. But I was a bitch when it came to needles, like until like a couple years, like literally a couple years ago. I think it was like 5-6 years ago when I finally just went, just look away. It's fine. Like, I do. I look away. When I get a needle, I just look away.
Well, I'm like the opposite. Like when I get tattoos, they hurt like a son of a bitch. But if I watch him do it, it doesn't hurt. It feels good.
Well, the tattoo's a different story. Like tattoos, yeah. I could watch him do tattoo all day.
I started doing that when they started drawing my blood, and it's not as bad. It's
weird. So with
I gotta
needles,
get blood work every 3 months to check my thyroid levels.
Yeah, Trisha's got to go.
Poked and prodded.
So where was I talking about?
Needles. Scared.
Yeah. So needles. Yeah. So.
I have a funny story about a Colombian too.
Of course you do.
You want to hear
it? Can I talk on this episode, or are you just gonna fucking monologue? You know what? Go ahead. You talk. You tell me about your Colombians.
So my friend.
I want to hear you talk anyway.
So my friend, him and his family came here from Colombia legally. They had all the paperwork and everything. They pull up to the port of entry, and they take their paperwork and tell him that they have to get out of the car. He was like 3-4 years old at the time. So they put him and his parents like close to the little guard booth or whatever. And he just took off and ran into America. As soon as they took him out of the car, he just bolted. And the Border Patrol agents were just like, what is he doing? And they're like, he's going to America, apparently. I'm like, so wait, let me get this straight. Your parents are here legally, but you technically are here illegally. Because usually it's the opposite. Kids are legal and the parents aren't. He's like, yeah, what's your point? He's like, I saw police officers and just ran.
How old was he?
I told you, like 3 or 4 years old. Like, I think he said like 3 or 4, maybe 5.
So a 5-year-old kid had the wherewithal to know that cops were American cops were bad and just took off into the woods or whatever. He took off into the desert. What did he think? He was a survivalist at 5?
I guess. I don't know.
This is what I mean. This is why they don't let kids do anything, because kids are they just think they're Superman. 5 years old. I'm just going to take off into the desert with the wolves.
I had a chipped tooth because I jumped off the roof of the house with an umbrella thinking I could fly like Mary Poppins. I didn't.
I was in a live the other day, and we were talking about the whole transgendered issue.
Yeah, I think I was watching.
And I go, okay, I got a question. So if my kid says he's Superman, should I just throw him off a roof? That's a false equivalency. No, it's not. You're allowing your kid to chop or castrate himself chemically because he says he's a girl. So if my son or daughter says they're Superman or Superwoman, then I should just throw them off a roof and just see if they can fly.
Okay, but not all superheroes can fly.
I said Superman. I didn't say she was Wonder Woman or Captain America or whoever.
Does Superman fly? No, I'm joking. Oh, no, I went live hopping last night and then popped into another one with Andy in it. I'm like, oh my God, dude. How is this guy still around?
These lives are crazy, man. It's just
they are.
It's gotten to it. That's all it is. It's debating now. It's just everybody debating, and like you said, everybody has the same talking points on both sides. It's the same thing on both sides. But here's the thing: is that nobody listens to each other, and that's the problem. Like, because you have people talking about like the transgender things, and they're like, well, in the church, and it's like, do you understand that people are against that? There are a lot of people who are against that. I've never heard of one person who's just like, yeah, no, I'm cool with my priest molesting my child. We're good with that.
Mm-hmm. We pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we give every week we give $100 so that way the priest can go with my son. No, nobody. I mean, I haven't yet, but I'm trying. Not trying, but I am a part. I'm not a part. I don't know.
Get to the point.
I got too much shit going on. But Scotto, my other one of my other podcast partners, he's in this group called UPH, and they're like pedophile hunters. No. So like, and it's like, I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what sex, whatever. You're a pedophile. I don't like you. Sorry. Mm-hmm. If you touch a kid for, other than get a hug from them from, like a normal person or, whatever.
The thing is, though, not all people that are trans or are allowing their kids to transition are pedophiles. So but why are priests even being brought into the mix? It's like when it comes to the drag, like the really provocative drag shows. Okay, I don't bring my child to church to be exposed to anything sexually inappropriate. I go for him to learn about God, whatever.
Except when they talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. Then
they don't. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been to church in a while.
So I went back to church after I got I went to church the day I got sober, and kind of found God again. And then with sobriety, it's helped me to be clean for 680 something days now, I think it is.
Congratulations.
But thank you.
I'm at 12 and a half years.
I'm August 29th will be 2 years.
Nice.
So yeah. But yeah, so I went to church and it was funny because, I'd started going like weekly and stuff like that. And I think it was like after the first month I went, and it's one of those new kind of churches where it's not a
hostile churches.
My wife's a Baptist, and she wants us to go to Baptist church, and I'm cool with that. No, listen, it's my wife. What am I gonna tell her? No. Anyway, so it's one of the new kind of. And you know what? I am a good husband, and I say, yes, my wife, I will do as you please, and I will not try to hump your leg while you are sleeping. I can't make any promises, but I might hump your leg. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm at church, and you can see him, like, he's just wearing like a button-down shirt and jeans, and he's a priest. I don't know what you call them, priests. I mean, they're not really. He's not a priest. It's like a Christian church.
Denomination?
Christian.
Oh, so he's probably just like a minister.
Yeah, that's it. Like a minister. So he's just a minister. He's just, he's just preaching, and he's like, listen. And what they do is they go through the Bible. They start from the beginning, and they just go through Genesis and everything. So he's up there, and he's like, okay, so. Just to let you guys know, we're at Sodom and Gomorrah. If there's any kids here, I don't know if you want to keep them here, but this is where we're going. And to watch him skirt through Sodom and Gomorrah for an hour was probably the best time I've ever had at church. To watch this man toe through Sodom and Gomorrah, and then he did lay with his daughter, and then he did, and I'm like, and I am dying. Thank God I was in the back, because I was dying laughing, listening to him try to skirt around it, and I like listening to stories like that, because
you love listening to stories of men laying with their daughters.
Yeah, man, No, I love listening to Bible, to people like break down the Bible to me. So I kind of like, oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, okay, because the Bible, and I started reading it again, and I got like normal. I got like 6 pages in, and was just like, yeah, I'll read it tomorrow, and then I just put it away, and I picked up Call of Duty. But anyway,
what is it? Why are they calling them Call of Groomers?
Oh, boy.
I'm like, I don't even want to click on this trend. I just got away from the crazy political side of Twitter. And what happened? Because Call of Duty is a breeding ground for predators to prey on kids. So is Fortnite and other games like that.
So I called it Call of Duty. So what happened was, due to the recent event, we have removed the Nick Merckx operator bundle from Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone store. We are focused on celebrating Pride with our employees and our community. Okay? Now, now that's what I call a groomer. By the way, I don't agree with any of that shit either. That's gross. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's gross. I'm gonna keep scrolling because I know I saw. Oh, okay. So here it goes. So what happened is anti-LGBT protests attacked pro-LGBT demonstrators outside of a Glendale, California school board meeting. The school board meeting is recognized as all he said was they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. That's all he said. That's all he said. And they removed him for it. They removed his skins.
Oh, it's the same person. Okay, it's a small.
This is the guy, and this was his. I guess his
like
his skin. Yeah, his skin.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so that it's FaZe, that FaZe Clan guys,
I don't
whatever.
Play Call of Duty. So
yeah, well, they're not just called. They're like a e-gaming crew. My son was trying to get to be a part of them, but yeah. So he had a skin, and because all he said was they should leave the little children alone. That's the real issue, because they're at a school. Like they're celebrating Pride at a school. Like,
okay,
once
but
again,
let's be honest though, because what happened
lesbians?
at the Glendale,
I love them.
what happened at the Glendale school, most of the people there weren't even part of that district, and that fight didn't need to happen. And violence is never okay.
From what I heard, it was parents.
Antifa.
Yeah, well, you don't think Antifa's real?
No, I just don't think that every time that there's a fight that the right starts, that it's against Antifa that instigated it.
So you think parents who don't want their kids forced to do LGBT stuff at school, those parents are right wing? So you think parents who don't want their kids to participate in LGBT?
No, I wasn't saying that. That's why I went Antifa, because anytime the right does something wrong, they're fighting Antifa. I was just making a point because people were saying Antifa was there, but I didn't see anyone that looked like Antifa.
Yeah, there was Antifa there.
No, I didn't. I couldn't. The one I saw two videos. One was like a sky view, but still, it's not. Violence isn't the answer.
I understand that it's not the answer, but that's so. If you
the Glendale police did come out and say that the majority of the people that were there were not parents of the school district.
Yeah, there were Antifa from other places.
Both sides
had very good people.
And people that did not belong there.
Ooh. I'm trying to see. I can't find any of it. What is it? What was it at Glendale?
Glendale, California.
Fight School District. Okay, fight broke out yesterday outside Glendale Unifor.
Yeah, it was at the school board meeting. But the police put a statement out the next day that the majority of the people there weren't parents from that school district.
So anytime you see anybody with a black mask or wearing black all over,
well, they're not usually necessarily. I go out in all black and I'm not Antifa.
Do you carry umbrellas with you?
When it's raining.
When it's not raining, they carry umbrellas with them.
If rain is in the forecast.
This is why I know you're fucking disingenuous.
I'm joking.
I know.
But don't say anytime you see someone wearing all black. Say at protests.
Well, I mean, but it's not just at protests. Like, okay, so Antifa, SoCal, and far left. So yeah, so Antifa SoCal was there.
I didn't know. Like I said,
you presented it like you.
Yeah, but see, I didn't see this one. But I wasn't making the comment about this. I was just making the comment because it's always Antifa's fault.
Well, I mean, Antifa does get violent. If you watch the videos, there's, usually a lot of times you'll see.
But it doesn't make it okay for other people to get violent.
So you keep getting smashed in the face.
Is not Antifa. Why has he got gloves and a helmet showing up to a school board meeting? Come on.
His shirt said Black Panther love.
Maybe we were looking at the different guy.
The guy over here, right here. This gentleman right here.
No, I think it was behind him the one I was pointing at. It didn't say Black Panther. It was like the guy with the red mask and the blue shirt behind him. Oh, that's a hat, not a helmet.
Yeah, look. Black with glasses on and a helmet. They know what they're doing.
The one with the Armenians.
This guy right here, he's wasted.
Okay, but where's the video with the Armenians?
I think it's this one.
What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and
that one.
Celebratory time during the final week of school turned into a horrible scene as fights broke out at the Glendale School District meeting over the inclusion of.
Well, I mean, kind of wanted to hear what he said.
I don't. He's annoying.
Listen, they don't. There's certain religions that don't want kids they don't want kids to be a certain way. I mean, I'm sorry. It's you can ask a lot of Muslims who practice and ask them about gay people, and they will say there's no gay people.
No, and I agree. A religion has we have our freedom of religion to practice our religion however we see fit. No one can infringe on that. But that doesn't give you a right for violence.
What is that?
What? Oh my God.
In the dress.
I'm like, what are you talking about? The First Amendment?
Yeah.
I'm just.
It doesn't. Why do you need to teach this to kids? I don't understand it. Listen, I agree with teaching them inclusion. Okay, and if they have, hey, Timmy talks about his two dads. Okay, Timmy's got two dads. Why has Timmy got two dads? Ask your parents. You can't help that some parents are shitty, just like you can't help that the parent takes the kid to a drag show. They shouldn't. We all have shitty parents. Some of us have worse parents that try to kill us from birth.
There are actually laws in place that should prevent them from being able to go to some of the drag shows.
Yeah. But and then they go, well, you take your kids to Hooters. Yes. Because the girls at Hooters are making their ass and their dick clap together.
Well, because at Hooters, the uniform doesn't require a cabaret license.
And they wear 14 pieces of clothing. All they show is a little bit of boob. And half of them, they got to force that shit up there.
I worked at, it wasn't Hooters, but it was like a spinoff of Hooters. It was called Mugs and Jugs.
They have legs and eggs on Tuesday?
No, we served wings and shit. Like jugs.
Ew, wings and shit.
A play on.
Who wants shit? That's some weird.
They have better wings than Hooters. But see, that's the thing is like, so I worked at a bikini bar. Bikini bars do not need a cabaret license. That's the strip clubs that you go to where you see people with pasties because you're not allowed to show nipples. You're not allowed to show the bottoms of the cheeks of your ass. And there's a lot of rules that you have to follow. If you don't, hold on. Okay. Sorry, I got a tweet that about an apartment fire. I thought it was mine. It was a similar address. So anyways, so there's a lot of rules that you have to follow. When you go to a strip club, that's like a nude club. They have a cabaret license, and you're not allowed to have kids in there that are under the age of 18. Some states 21. Like each state is different. Even at the bikini bars, there's an age limit on it. So if you have a drag show where they're wearing similar things in a strip club and dancing in similar ways like a strip club, you need a cabaret license. And they don't have that. If they followed the law and got the cabaret license, the minors wouldn't be allowed there.
But they don't. And they just allow.
So I'm saying there are laws in place that are supposed to prevent this. But what they're doing is instead of enforcing a law that's already on the books, they're just banning them. Like I have zero problems with drag queens reading at libraries when they're in their gowns. zero problems. I've been to beautiful drag shows. I have no problem with kids seeing them. But when they're stripping and they're wearing the provocative outfits that which not now, but when I was a lot skinnier, when I was stripping, I would be fined for doing that in a strip club. That I'm not okay with. But there are laws that they already have on the books that they're just not enforcing. They're just banning it all. And that I don't agree with.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I told you, I'm getting a lot of shit for that video I did about defending Nicole and about the bathrooms. And no, listen. Again, people have been, transgenders have existed for a long time. They've been going into bathrooms for a long time. Okay.
But even aside from that, when have you ever seen a guard outside of a women's room to stop a man from going in? Exactly. Never.
It's a social contract that if you see another man walking into the woman's room, that the man but here's the thing is like you said, they're not following the law. So if a woman gets assaulted in the bathroom, they're allowing these people because they say they're transgender to get away with it.
That's not what's happening. There was a transgender that did rape someone that got arrested.
Yes.
So they're not allowing them to get away with it.
It was the school, like that school, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, no.
But I know my kids.
Whoa, hold on. They did let him get away with it. He was at another school.
Then I'm thinking of something different. Because it was an arrest that I read.
Well, hold on. So what happened was he was at another school. He did sexually assault. He sexually attacked somebody. They put him in another school. He did the same thing.
Yeah,
they didn't tell the parents. They didn't tell the parents, and the parents were pissed off because they tried to sweep it under the rug, and then they were arrested for it.
Okay, but that's not just an isolated problem with transgenders. We had a teacher here that was just arrested for sleeping with a student. She was 23. He was 17. I mean, it's the age difference in 10 years. No one would have batted an eye about it.
Oh, yeah.
But he was bragging about it. Someone brought it up to the vice principal. The vice principal investigated, asked him if it was true, asked her if it was true, and then did nothing. And then somehow the police got involved and arrested the teacher. This happens all the time, though. It's always like things that happen in schools are always brushed under the rug.
Well, I remember when I was like 15, 16, all my friends that were girls were talking about how they're college boyfriends and all this stuff. And it was just like...
I had a friend whose boyfriend was 2 years older than her. He was 19. She was 17. And I would drive up to the jail with her to visit him.
I was a senior dating a freshman.
I was a senior when my husband was a freshman, but we weren't dating.
I thought you were going to say I was a senior when my husband was born.
No. Dick. But yeah, that's the thing, though. That's what the point I'm making is, though, schools are notoriously known. I mean, look at the gymnastics guy. Look at what happened at Ohio State, what happened at Penn State, even though what the fuck is the Penn State coach's name?
Sandusky?
No, the one
Joe Paterno?
Yeah, Paterno.
Yeah.
He did what he was required to do.
Yeah.
But that wasn't enough. He planned on retiring and they fired him anyways. It was so stupid what they did to him. But schools are notorious for brushing these things under the rug.
Yeah.
So to make the claim that they only brushed this under the rug because it was a transgender, you can't say that with 100% certainty because they brush these things under the rug all the time.
I understand that. But here's what I brought it up is because you do have these things that happen, but with the not enforced. But here's what pisses me off. When you enforce the laws, you get results. So if you if you did something like me, I got a DUI, right? I got lucky and I didn't have to it was my first one. I should have got a lot more, but I didn't. But after that, I stopped for the most part drinking and driving. Okay. But before that, I was drinking and driving all the time. And when I finally got my DUI, I was like, listen. And then for a long time, I didn't do it because I kind of got away with it. So that's what happens. These people get away with this stuff and they don't give them the full charges that they should get. If you go into a bathroom and you sexually assault a woman, and with the kind of the bills that they want to pass that are against this.
Well, my daughters, like, they hate that they have what are they? The gender friendly bathrooms or whatever, the separate ones. They hated them at their school because it was just one toilet. It was like a family bathroom without a changing table. But all the kids just went in there to smoke their vapes and smoke weed and shit because home monitors can't go in there because there's no stalls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's and listen, you got boys and girls. You got boys taking a dump in there and girls throwing their pads all around. It's gross.
I do not miss the school's bathrooms.
No,
but see, and that's the thing is though, like with my Twitter account being on the fandom that I am and having 2 daughters that are LGBT, like I'm talking to kids. And when I say kids my kids' age, like adult kids, they hate all this shit. They don't want any of it. And I just feel like if we're going to be passing laws saying that we're protecting the kids, how can we do that without talking to them? And I say the same thing all the time. How can they pass laws about sex trafficking without talking to survivors? We know traffickers. We know how they work. We know all the ins and outs, but no one talks to us when it comes to passing laws. I think we need to hear the voices of the kids. We need to hear what they want and how they feel about things. Want to see
me bring this back to full circle? I'll bring this back.
Circle. We need a noise for it, though. I think a sound effect.
You know, I got those.
I know. I'm proud of you. You made it an hour and a half, over an hour and a half, without using it yet.
Why are you gay?
No, that wasn't a good one.
Who says I'm gay? You are gay.
Let's see. Where is it? I got the wrong one. Where'd it go? Son of a biscuit.
Oh, and I need you to comment. There we
go. What'd you say?
You got to comment and join the Moots battle. Just go on my profile. You'll find it.
Okay.
I need like 3 more people, I think. I need 16. I think I'm at 14.
I totally forgot what full circle is.
I have a feeling you were going to go back to Trump.
Well, when you bring full circle, it's like, yeah, we have to talk to the kids and everybody. Oh, that's where bring it back to politicians are garbage. They're only doing what the loudest people want, and that's the problem. Well, that's the problem, and that's Can I finish one thought today? I have not finished one fucking thought today. Can I finish one? I forgot it. Forgot.
Politicians are garbage.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, politicians are garbage, and they pander to the loudest. Politicians are garbage, and they pander to Did you just unmute yourself? I'm gonna put you in the green room. They pander to the loudest part and the most and the most left and right people. They don't want to listen to the people in the middle because that's not. Bless they want to go. Yeah, it's Cody. He's good.
Tell him I said bless you.
Bless you. They think that going all the way full bore on each side is going to get them what they want, and the people will vote for them, and the people in the middle are usually the voiceless people. And so, yeah, we can have these conversations with people, you know, and I think a lot of people, once again, a lot of people don't care. A lot of people just don't give a shit about this stuff, you know. I mean, like your kids are come on. I mean, for the most part, kids experiment. They do.
Adults
boys experiment. Yeah, boys experiment with their friends. You know how many stories I've heard of people who were like, "Hey, you ever touch your wiener with your friends?" Yeah, I used to do that. Oh yeah. And
I don't think that's normal, dude.
Yes, it is. I've heard a lot about it.
It doesn't.
Like I've seen a lot about sex. I saw my buddy Steve's penis almost as much as I saw mine when I was living with him. He literally was having sex on my head one night. Thank God it was his girlfriend's ass at the time. But people expect, like, how many girls, how many women are just like, yeah, I had my experience in college. I dated a girl. Like, you're just finding out your sexuality as a kid. So let you find out your sexuality. There's no need for parents to step in and start going, well, I think you're a girl now. If your son wants to wear a dress at 7, let him fucking wear a dress at 7. If your daughter wants to cut her hair off and look like Britney Spears when she went through that psychotraumatic time, let her do it. It's hair. It grows fucking back. If your kid wants to paint his nails, let him paint his nails. Who gives a fuck? Let him wear stiletto heels. Who cares? But don't give them. But don't give them
bad for your back and your hips.
Well, you know, these hips don't lie. But
you're still.
You know, yeah, they do. They said I'm a lot better than I really am. So yeah, let your kid do what they want. Let them experiment and whatever. If they want to, if a boy wants to be with a boy and see what it's like, and maybe he goes, I don't like that, then you know he knows he doesn't like it. If a girl goes with another girl and she's like, I like that.
Well, let me ask you this.
Still haven't finished my thought, but okay.
Okay, but it applies. So you don't care if a boy wears female clothes, right?
No.
So are you against what Matt Walsh is doing to Target because of this bathing suit, the tuck bathing suit?
Well, the tuck bathing suit has to do with parents.
How does that have something to do with parents?
Because it's kids. It's children. Like literally baby, like preemies, like literally baby babies that can't
Alex
walk.
Stein was wearing one, so they had him in all sizes. And
you ever see a fat kid before?
Yes, but still, even if a parent puts that on an infant boy, who cares? Who's it hurting?
Well, it's not hurting anybody except the boy's penis.
No, it has special binding stuff to make it comfortable.
Come on, listen.
I don't know. I don't have a penis.
You have a son though, right? He never get boners when he was a kid.
Well, I'm not going to talk about that on a YouTube.
But it happens to everybody. All of us men have had an instance where we just get boners all the time.
I have an autistic child that doesn't even like wearing clothes to begin with, so I don't follow. But I don't think it hurts anyone. And what Matt Walsh is doing to Target, I think is disgusting.
But Matt Walsh isn't the one doing it to Target.
He's the one that started it.
No, he didn't.
More like.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He wasn't the one who brought it out. There was a lot of conservative people, and a lot of parents, like a lot of regular parents did too.
That only care about not doing the surgeries, not doing the hormones. That don't care if kids wear boys wear dresses, but once we have a bathing suit.
Once again, it's the loudest people. A lot of parents didn't. A lot of parents don't care. You know what they do?
I'm asking if you agree and if you are going to boycott Target because of it.
I will definitely boycott Target until all their prices drop and I can get shit for really cheap.
Do you know how fat phobic Target is?
Extremely. We're
not talking about that.
I'm a 38, right? In pants. A 38 in their pants is like a 34.
If they even carry a 38.
No, they do.
They do,
but it's a 34. It's a 34 though. But still.
But that's the thing. Like, they're attacking everything right now. Anything Pride. Like, they're attacking all the accounts on Twitter that are making Pride icons. They've been doing that for a very long time. Why are you attacking them now?
And they've been attacking them the entire time. You know what the difference is? Now the news.
The way Matt Walsh is doing.
Now it's been they have. If you followed Matt Walsh, if you followed the Daily Wire, if you followed Steven Crowder, you know the guys. They've been doing this for a long time. You know what the thing is now? It's the hot button issue, and now all of a sudden it's come to the forefront, and now it's in the mainstream
Matt
media.
Walsh is taking it entirely too far.
Matt Walsh is not doing.
Michael Knowles got up and said to eradicate transgenderism.
No, he did.
He did not say eradicate transgenders, but he did say eradicate transgenderism. He did.
Where?
At one of his speeches.
Where? Do you have it?
Let me look. They were making the claim that he said transgenders and he said transgenderism.
And what's the context? Was he talking about in children or period?
I think period.
Well, they don't get periods, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. So once again, it's the loudest.
At CPAC, he says transgenderism must be eradicated. The transphobic okay. Let me see if I can find one that actually says what he says.
A good set.
No.
Did you just yell at him?
Yeah, I yelled at my computer.
We got to wrap you up here soon. It's already about an hour 45.
Okay, hold on. Let me share.
There can be no middle way in dealing with transgenderism. It is all or nothing. If transgenderism is true, if men really can become women, then it's true for everybody of all ages. If transgenderism is false, as it is, if men really can't become women, as they cannot, then it's false for everybody too. And if it's false, then we should not indulge it, especially since that indulgence requires taking away the rights and customs of so many people. If it is false, then for the good of society, and especially for the good of the poor people who have fallen prey to this confusion, transgenderism must be eradicated from public life entirely. The whole preposterous ideology.
Okay. Do you understand what he's talking about, right?
Yes. But you can't deny that he didn't say that, because he did. Okay. Now,
but in the context of what he's saying is because they're taking away what women have fought for years.
How are they taking away from what women fought for? I can still vote. I haven't lost a single right because of a trans woman.
You can still vote, but sports, women in sports. Women in sports. You have girls that have been training in their entire life to be number one in their sport, and then a man comes in, says they're transgender, and all of a sudden they have worked their entire life to become the number one, and now they fall to number two. Have you seen the interview?
So you're acting like every single trans woman in sports is pretending to be trans because they lost in the male side, and that's just not true. It's a disingenuous argument. There are legit trans women that want to play in trans in women's sports. I think we should just take genders away from all sports. That I'd make everything.
They did. It recently. The women's soccer team played a group of 15-year-olds and lost 6-0. 15-year-old boys.
Come on, they're too busy with politics to practice soccer.
This is true. Too busy trying to get the new Nike rainbows to practice. But I mean, you have people who've been training their entire life to be number one in a sport, and then a person comes in. I mean, come on, look at Leah Thomas. Like, she was dead last in the men's, almost in dead last, and then she comes out and now she's first. She's a Michael Phelps, literally, of the women's sports.
Yeah, but is it because she's a trans woman, or is she a man pretending to be trans just to be a winner?
We don't know, because we can't question it, because you become a bigot. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If they're walking around and taking on the identity of a woman, I mean, it's pretty obvious.
But then now, what you have now also is a bunch of people who are saying now that they're transgendered women who are now lesbians because they are attracted to women.
Okay, so?
That's a whole lot of malarkey. Lesbians don't want that part in a man. That's the whole reason for becoming a lesbian.
I know a lot of lesbians that don't care. But see, someone that's a lesbian but is attracted to trans women, it's a totally different term. I don't know what it is. There's so many of them. I could ask my kids. There's another term for a woman that's attracted to trans women and women.
And that's fine. And listen, and it's fine. But the point is that women have been fighting for their independence forever. And now you have
being taken away.
And now you have men coming into their spaces.
Trans women.
You have biological men coming into women's spaces.
And
just because you're okay with it doesn't mean everybody's okay with it. A lot of people are not okay with it.
I understand, but my question is, why do women feel like their womanhood is being challenged because of trans women? I don't feel like less of a woman because Dylan Mulvaney is the face of Oil of Olay. She needs that stuff.
She's taking a job away from a woman who is the woman who can't get a job now. The woman who can't now is now no longer the spokesperson for Oil of Olay because they gave the job to a man, a biological man. Excuse me.
Yeah, but I don't feel like less of a woman because of that.
I
wasn't going to. Okay, but when it comes to Oil of Olay, trans women are going to need those products because of the hormones that they're taking. So why can't they be the spokesperson? They're going to be using it too.
Because it's a woman's product.
Okay, but
okay, so why are they the face of tampon?
Well, I don't give a shit. Tampons should be taken off.
That's the thing. You don't care.
Yeah,
and I don't care. I don't care because I'm not going to use it anyway. You don't care because you don't care. But there are women who do care, just like there are women. There are people who think Donald Trump but they're like the people who think that Donald Trump is guilty for everything he's been indicted for, and there are people who don't think Trump is guilty for everything. Everybody's different, but the point is that the women have fought their lives to have their independence, to have their own spaces, to have their own stuff. And now you're allowing biological men to come into their spaces and they don't feel safe. You talk about women who are saying, hold on, I'm trying to cook here.
Why?
Because once again, you're telling me on one hand that 1 in 4 women on a college campus is raped, and on the same hand, you're telling me that now you are going to allow biological males into female spaces. So how can you tell me you don't want
1 in 4 women are already getting raped on college campuses? How much is that statistic going up because of transgenders that make
it
up
could go up threefold. It could go up fourfold.
that make up less than 1% of the population. I mean, let's be honest.
But that's not the point. It's not the point. You're going to have people who are fucked up in the head who are going to dress like you're just giving them more of a leeway. That's all you're doing. That's like saying, okay, but that's like saying
that's fucked up, that's getting too much leeway, then we shouldn't allow anybody because of the bad apple. Women are scared because people are making them scared. Men are sitting here, women are saying that we live in a country where a woman can't walk down the street by herself. I dare someone to come up to me. I can take care of myself. I've been taking care of myself. I am not afraid for my daughter that's 20 years old walking back and forth to work because she knows how to take care of herself. She knows self-defense. She knows how to take care of herself. When you are installing a message of fear, people are going to be afraid.
Pickles. Bread.
Can I finish a thought? But that's the honest truth. If you keep on pushing the fear, they're going to be afraid. And it's not because they actually are afraid.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Like and that's a true statistic. 1 in 4 women get raped. That is not going to go up dramatically by someone in less than 1% of the population. And half of that, less than 1%, because that includes trans men.
Listen, I just think once again, that's what you get. See, I didn't have to touch you. God punished you.
I'm trying to switch to a mod instead of
yeah.
Ooh, it's rough.
It's kind of like saying, instead of, if you're an alcoholic, you could just drink beer instead of hard alcohol. We shouldn't allow this. We shouldn't allow this. Once again, we should have just left it alone. We should have just fucking left it alone. But once again, the politicians who care nothing about anybody but their pockets decided that this was going to be the hill to die on, just like they bring up abortion every year or whenever it's election time. They had so many years to codify it, but they didn't. Now all of a sudden there's a rush to get it.
They never could have codified it. It wasn't constitutional.
No, it wasn't. But they could have. They could have made a they could have made a constitutional law for it or whatever they wanted to do. They could have done something about it, but they didn't. You know why?
Should have been. I mean, that decision never should have happened.
No, it shouldn't have.
And
it was based on a lie.
And this
it was based on a lie.
And this was something I wanted to actually say, like probably 30 minutes ago when you made me mute my mic. So the Supreme Court denied a case by trafficking survivors that brought a case and were trying to sue Reddit for their videos as minors being on their platform. The Supreme Court rejected it. They're not taking the case. Do you want to know what case they just announced that they're going to take? A trademark case. A guy wants to trademark. It has a hand that's like this and says that Trump has small parts. That case they're taking, but not the Reddit case where child pornography was on there.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in.
Yeah.
There's so much more important shit than this transgender stuff.
They don't want to fix because they don't want to fix it. They rather us sit here and yell at each other and argue about it and go back and forth because it just doesn't do anything but keeps our see what happened with the pandemic. What fucked everything up during the pandemic is people had nothing to do. So a lot of people went and started researching shit.
No, they started going on social media.
Yeah. And then, announcing their their stances on things, but it led people people had nothing to do and started researching all these fucking people. And listen, come on, they had Nancy Pelosi's. There was a Twitter account that showed you every time Nancy Pelosi made a trade and how much money she made, and people were going, "How much is she?" And she just passed this bill. Wait a minute, or what's the fucking one-eyed pirate Dan Crenshaw? Found out how much of a piece of shit he really was.
Vocal about him too. I'm very
so was I.
He turned out to be
yeah. So it's they don't care, and when people realize that they don't care, and you need to start taking the power back. And once again, you got to do it locally. You start out with like your local sheriff, your local mayor, whatever it is, and then you build up. And you got to vote. And here's the thing is, I think a lot of people go into politics thinking they're going to change the world. I believe I heard a story that Nancy Pelosi was like that. Pelosi started out her career as she wanted to really do something in politics and be somebody and change the world for better. And then that fucking money just hits you and you realize, wait a minute.
What happened to Trump? I think he maybe had good intentions going in, but once he realized he was the most powerful man, it went to his head.
I think he didn't. I think, to be honest with you, I think he didn't. He thought I think he didn't have as much power as he thought he was going to have. That's what I think. I think he thought he was going to have. I think he was going to have come on. Every time he fired somebody, the news ran crazy. Oh, this guy said Trump. This guy doesn't like Trump. So Trump fired
Fauci.
Because it was a political.
And still
because if
stands
he fired
by
Fauci,
his decision for Operation Warp Speed to get the vaccine pushed out, but now is running on investigating vaccines related to autism, which has been proven to be false many times over.
He's appeasing. Once again, like I said,
he's not appeasing. He's obnoxious. He can't shut the fuck up. He makes up names and talks shit about everyone, and it was entertaining at first. Yeah. But now it's at the point, just shut the fuck up already. And if he would have canceled that rally on January 6th, that wouldn't have happened the way that it happened.
You need to shut the fuck up.
He does. But like I said to you when we were on Josh's podcast, if he had canceled that rally when he knew there was a threat, and we know he knew there was a threat because he was trying to get the National Guard in, then most of that stuff wouldn't even have fucking happened.
But you know why he didn't, right?
He can't give up a chance to yap his mouth in front of a mic.
Why?
Because he's a narcissist.
Exactly. And on that note, folks, I don't know where I'm going with that. Oh. On that note, folks. Nope. Picked the wrong one every time. Thank you for the one person who's watched us the whole time, Mitch. We appreciate you. This is a good one. I like when we argue.
I know.
It's fun. I don't listen. Yeah, I know. I concede a lot. But I like having differing opinions. I don't like being like, oh yeah. If you agree with it becomes boring after a while. But yeah.
And I've been playing Roblox the whole time.
You can find me on Twitter at MW Troublemaker. You could also find me on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the Business Party Podcast, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. You could also find me on Sundays with Mama J on the Weekend Hangover, where we give you the weekend wrapped up of news, and then we start talking
about me on your other podcasts.
No, I actually talk highly about you on other podcasts. Nice. Yeah. Unlike you who tell all your friends I'm highly inappropriate.
You are.
I know. You can also find me, like I said, on Sundays on the Weekend Hangover, where we give you the week wrap-up of news, let you know what you've missed, and then we go and speak about garbage TV. This week we are going to talk about that cult, the Duggars. We're going to talk about on Sunday. But yeah, I still have to watch Vanderpump Rules and all that other stuff, and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and stuff. But yep. So that's where you can find me. Smelly, where can people find you besides they can smell you?
You can find me on the Unbroken Podcast. That's on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all podcast platforms. I'm Beautiful Mistake 24 on TikTok. The Unbroken Podcast on Twitter and Instagram, and also the CEO and founder of the After the Last Sale Foundation.
Well, with that, thank you for joining us.
Oh, and Kellie3312 on Roblox if you want to come play games with me.
With that, we don't have an outro, do we? No, we don't have an outro. But anyway, that we will see you next Friday.
Just sit here and wait until the live ends. Like,
we will see you next Friday at 8 o'clock Central. Oh yeah, Jack will be here next week. That's
Yay.
right. Another person for me to gang up with on Kelly. It's gonna be great.
He loves me.
Ugh. Nobody loves you.
Everyone does. All right, I gotta go.
Bye, kiddos.